Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the tutor improvement group that I just started. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're seeing this somewhere outside of Facebook, I'll put a link to the group below. I wanted to discuss today something that a lot of groups online talk about. Some groups that are focused on you improving your tutoring business. Some of them that really do deliver on what they promise, and some that just don't. But I do want to take a different position on something that a lot of the groups talk about. So, what is it that I want to talk about? The question is, should you work for other tutoring companies, or should you just work only for yourself? So what's my answer? My answer is yes, you should definitely work for other tutoring companies. You absolutely should. And now you might be saying, well, Juan, you might be saying that because you have a vested interest in other people being okay with working with other tutoring companies because your business model involves tutors working for you and making money through you. Well, that's fair. That's fair. However, if you talk to my tutors, you'll also know that I actually don't restrict them from joining any other tutoring companies. And in fact, on occasion, I've actually recommended them to go to other tutoring companies to check them out, not just because I'm confident that they're going to stay with me. No, because I want them to get as much experience as they can. I want them to go work for those tutoring companies and I want them to make their money. The truth is, the better the tutor, the better the income, and the better it is for everyone involved. So, what is it that makes a lot of groups recommend to never work for another tutoring company, to only work for yourself? Well, the thing is, the idea is that if you work for another tutoring company, then you don't get to keep the money that comes from the tutoring. You end up having to give up some of that income. And that's only sort of true. Let's give an example. Let's say you want to make $40 an hour and you go to work for me, or you go to work for Wyzant, or you go to work with another tutoring company. Let's say they charge 25%. The way that people think about it is, well, 25% of $40 is $10. So the tutoring company keeps $10 and I only get to keep 30. That's not what I want to make. I want to make 40. That's not the right way to think about it. And if you're thinking about it that way, then you're going to lose out. The right way to think about it is think about what you want to make and make sure that you make that. You want to make $40, you know the company takes 25%. So what you do is you take that $40, you divide it by 75%. Get a calculator out. You do need a calculator. Take that, divide by 0.75, and then that will tell you how much you should charge. So if you're wondering, $40 divided by 0.75, that ends up being somewhere between 53 and $54, about $53.33 or so. And so then, is that what you should charge? Well, no, you should really round it. At that point, you should decide, should you charge $50 and then you end up making a little less than $40, or do you set your fee to $55 and then you make a little more than $40? And you make those decisions. You don't want to have weird little prices, little decimals in there. You make that decision and then you make the $40 that you were making. What's the benefit of that? Well, the benefit is that one of the limitations for how much income you can make is how much tutoring you do. The less amount of tutoring you do, realistically, the less amount that you could charge. So you want to fill up your schedule a little bit more. So what you do is you work for other tutoring companies, you fill up your schedule. As your time starts becoming more limited, you start being able to charge clients more. The more access to clients you have, the more you can charge. And that's why I recommend going to competitors, submitting an application, and trying to get clients through them too. You don't steal the clients. When you get a client through Wyzant, when you get a client through care.juantutors.com, wherever you happen to get the client, you don't steal the client. You work with that client through the company that you got them, and you make money through them, and by showing that you're working with them, with the tutoring company, they will continue to send you clients. That's the trick. So work with those companies.